Hi everyone, welcome to another Literacy Friday session. Today we continue our series on media literacy. This is part 2, and in this lesson we'll be looking at 6 terminologies that have to do with media, or 6 terminologies that are used in the media space quite frequently. Firstly, do you know this guy? Well, frankly, I don't. But he reminds me of a character from a story I read when I was a child about 3 goats that wanted to cross a bridge and a troll lived beneath it. Now, according to the story, the troll just used to sit under the bridge. I don't know if he really had to live there, but he would only come up whenever the goats wanted to cross the bridge. He would enter a conversation with them, and before they were able to cross, he would have eaten them all up. But the 3rd goat outsmarted him and he was defeated. Now, a troll, according to literature, is a creature. It's usually ugly, and it sometimes looks like part human but have animalistic characteristics. And all trolls in all story generally are just there to provoke. Now, in media, this word troll has been used a lot to refer to a person who intentionally posts, comments, or leaves a message on the internet just to provoke or offend or disturb or annoy others. And they usually do it just for attention's sake, just to create mischief. Now, you may say there's no harm in just posting. After all, we have freedom of speech and we're free to do whatever we want to do. But remember, media literacy is about being responsible as we use the internet. So a person who intentionally does this is called a troll, and it's also used as a verb. The word troll is also used as a verb. And to troll is to intentionally leave those disturbing messages on the internet just to provoke persons or to annoy them, disturb them. And it's usually done habitually. So for a person to be considered as an internet troll, it means they are not just doing this as a random action, and they're doing it intentionally. It's a deliberate action and it's done habitually. Now, is trolling a criminal act? There's no easy way to answer this. What I can say is that trolling can lead to criminal behavior. If it leads to criminal behavior, then that person would be liable, especially if what they posted can be proven to be libel. And I'm going to explain the difference between these 2 words that are popularly used in the media space: liable and libel. Now, libel, it simply means to be considered to be legally responsible for an action, especially a faulty one. So if it can be proven that you are guilty, then you are legally responsible for that action. You're liable. Liable also means it's that you're likely to do a particular thing. So you can say the person is liable to do such and such. You're just saying it's likely that they will do it or be like that. On the other hand, libel, which is L-I-B-E-L, is a lie that can damage someone's reputation. So a troll may not have set out to hurt someone, they just want to annoy them. But if what they have posted on the internet is not just disturbing the person, but it turns out to be a lie that can damage a person's reputation, then such person would now be able to be charged. They would be responsible for committing the crime of libel. And libel is a serious criminal offense because often that one lie can cause the person to lose money, lose their credibility, affect the person's well-being, worth, family, etc. Have you ever been walking and just feeling as someone is just lurking over your shoulder? If that's the case, you would have had a stalker. And it's easy to detect stalkers in physical environments, but when it comes to the media space, it's harder. So cyberstalking is the action of using the internet to secretly and illegally monitor the actions of others. Now, with cyberstalking, it doesn't mean that the person is sending hurtful messages. It doesn't mean that the person is contacting the person who they're watching. It just means that they're doing it illegally. The person who they're watching is not aware of the fact that they're being watched by this person and they did not give them permission to follow them. Cyberstalking, in my opinion, is just creepy behavior. Now, bullying is bad on a whole. And bullying is not only done face to face, it can happen through the internet, and that's called cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is the act of using any electronic media to willfully harass, hurt, or intimidate someone. So you can take up your phone and decide that you're going to give some hurtful remarks. That's cyberbullying. Especially if you want to intimidate the person, let them feel lesser than you. Certain classifications of cyberbullying are also punishable by law in some jurisdictions. Now we look at our sixth and final terminology for this week, cyber patrolling. Persons who cyber patrol are basically the good watch people, the watchmen and watchwomen who are just there monitoring, zooming in on your media content, zooming in on your actions on the internet, and they're like whistleblowers. They identify potential harm and threats to our safety. So whether it's a parent who is looking at establishing parental controls or monitoring your device, that's still considered as cyber patrolling. But you can also employ someone to check your social media accounts, monitor your profiles just to see if there are any potential threats. Cyber patrollers also monitor your device's safety to ensure that there are no leaks, especially in this time when persons are trying to scam and hack into persons' accounts. Cyber patrolling involves all of that, detecting all of the threats to our devices and to us as individuals, even as we use these media devices and media platforms. That's it for today's lesson. Now, can you try and complete this activity? Fill in the blanks with any of these 6 words. 4 of the words will be used. Thomas was employed to manage the social media accounts for an online boutique. One of his main tasks was to conduct blank. As he worked with his manager, Samantha, he found that he was attracted to her beauty. But rather than tell her openly, he started to follow her online. He would spend much time monitoring her movements online. Basically, he was blank. He created a fake profile and started to contact her privately using the name 007. At first, Samantha ignored him. After all, she didn't know who was 007. 007 persistently liked her stories and left many comments, but she never responded. One day, he got frustrated and commented, "Fake? You are just as fake as your products." Samantha would normally ignore such things. After all, she had Thomas to handle all that. Nevertheless, she thought this one was damaging. After all, 007 was an ardent follower who would normally leave positive responses to her post. She called Thomas immediately. "Thomas," she said, "please do your thing and find out who is 007, for his last comment can be counted as blank." Can you fill in all 4 blanks?